Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Miss Fierce here from the Fierce Trade House, and I am excited. It's a brand new weekly analysis. We're just about to get into the market, and yeah, I'm excited. Coincidentally, I was looking at BTC earlier this week, and we know what has been happening. There's just been a lot of chaos in the market as far as crypto is concerned. And I was reading a post on Facebook by a friend of mine, and he was talking about the way I think last week on Tuesday or something, he experienced. He went into his Bitcoin account and tears were dropping were rolling down his eyes, and I felt for him, but it was just funny to hear that expression. So I know a lot of people have been going through that, and just wondering what's happening in the market. But for me, like as always, I always say technicals. Fundamentals are great when it comes to trading and analyzing the charts, and I mean the pricing of assets and everything. But I always say the technicals always rule. At the end of the day, if you have your technicals down pat, most of the time you should get it right, regardless of what's happening economically and things like that. So, like I've been saying since last year, November, BTC has been on a bearish run. We can see from the 23rd, which is when we broke out of this accumulation zone, we have just been very bearish. We then did come to, I believe in January this year, we kind of consolidated for a while, and then we took out this significant high at 45K. So all the way from 60K to 45K, we were bearish. Then we retested the 45K level again. We took that level out. And I remember telling guys that once this was taken out, we were now going to really be bearish. And what we've seen in the last week is what people are calling the bloodbath and everything. But if you look at the charts are already telling you where BTC was going. And now this is where we are at, right? So let me look at the daily very quickly. I just want to, just have a look, right? So I'm just going to delete this zone because we've taken it out. We actually tapped into my 18K level. Okay, if you're in my Telegram group, I've actually been sharing my charts from early June, May, late mid-May, and really, I had anticipated that Bitcoin would get to 18,791.31, and we tapped this yesterday. So I was really excited about that. Now, why was this level significant? So I'm just going to clear my chart a bit so that it's not as noisy. Like I think I'd drawn that out because we had liquidity lying down there below. And right about now, the reason why I tapped into this is because we can see an imbalance right about here, right? So we've taken out all these imbalances. We do have a minor last one here, and so I was anticipating that price would actually tap into that, and it has, right? We have some liquidity lying downside here. Okay, so there's potential for price to literally just, keep dropping. And I'm looking at, longer term. I'm just thinking longer term, we probably can anticipate like 13K level being, an interesting level. Let me see, sorry. I'm looking at 13K, 13.8K being a level that, I'll be looking at BTC getting to, but near term, maybe 16K. But right about now, on the daily, I mean, this has been a really, really, really significant drop. So what I'm going to anticipate is that, we've taken out liquidity. So right about now, I'm thinking that we are likely going to try and rebalance the market. So we may see price, take out previous highs on the daily, just push up a bit, maybe to the 23K level, tap into this supply zone here. Yeah, I'm thinking we may see some consolidation happening this week, or but there's potential to just tap the 23K and maybe continue on its way down. So right about now, I think we may dilly-dally there for a while. Let me see how the 1 hour is looking. The 1 hour, we literally, took out liquidity, retested an imbalance here, pushed up, tapped into the imbalance. So we are likely to retest the 18K level, okay, as we continue to the upside. And I'm going to just anticipate the 22, 23. We still have liquidity up above here. So I'm just like, 25K is a possibility, but near term, I'm looking at 22,984, 23K, and then maybe, may see price maybe try and bump into the lower levels of 16K before we see price moving up. But that's where we're at, right? We literally, are at an imbalance, rejected off of that, and we are probably going to, reverse a bit and then retest the same 18K level maybe, and then continue to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at for BTC. So that's on crypto. Let me go to what I usually like to trade, and that's the indices. So I'm going to look at NAS 100. And I want to keep this short and sweet as always. So NAS has also been very bearish. I mean, looking extremely bearish. We still have the 10K level here that I had marked out a while ago, but I want to look at the chart again. So what we are seeing with NAS is we tapped into the imbalance and we rejected off of that imbalance, but there's still room for NAS to drop. I'm targeting the 10K level, this 10,692 level. I think that's when I'll be like, okay, I think we are done dropping. We have taken out liquidity. There's potential for price to, push up. We've tapped into this order block here. We may reject off of it actually, just continue downwards, or we may try to tap into the imbalance above. Either way, 10K, 10,692.8 level for me is a reality, and that's what I'll be expecting NAS to get to before we actually see a turn in price. Yeah, because there's a lot of liquidity at this level. Anywhere between this, I mean, this is about what, about 567 points, but you see, after we've taken liquidity here, I'm anticipating that price may try to continue to push up, likely fill in, there's a gap here, okay, try and fill out that gap, and then now maybe we'll see price tap into the 10K, 10.6K level. So that's NAS. So I'm bearish on NAS anyway, at least until we get to the 10K. So yeah, let me look at US 30, which should pretty much be looking the same. I don't know why that's coming up on my screen. Okay. Let's clear things right about now. Sorry guys, I hate when my laptop does this. When it gets a mind of its own and decides to just, So when we look at US 30, so we see we tapped into a level that I had drawn out. This must be liquidity. We tapped into this low here, and so there's liquidity lying here. There's a lot of liquidity downside. So I'm still also bearish on US 30, okay? Still bearish on US 30. We may just drive down on market open, but I won't be surprised if we try to push back into this order block here, maybe even higher before we continue down. But the market is really still looking bearish. But we have taken out liquidity, so I'm looking at maybe a minor rejection, but we really closed bearish last week. So yeah, they still, we've left liquidity lying downside. So I'm going to anticipate price pushes up to the 31K level and maybe fills out that gap on the daily, 31.407. And then we can proceed to now take out the liquidity downside properly. But these are all the levels I'm thinking that we should. I mean, there's a lot going on to the downside. The markets are looking very bearish, so I'm not going to, I'm just gonna be like, yo, this is potentially a target zone. So, whatever happens, we probably will try and push up and then we'll push. I'll still anticipate BTC getting to 28K. I mean, sorry, US 30. Sorry about that. So US 30 getting to 28K. Near term 29K. Okay, 29,403. But before that, we may see price pull back before we head down. So let me look at a metal, gold. Let's look at gold, which is also one of the really, really heavily traded metals in the market. Gold, for some reason, the chart looks so much calmer than the indices. And we can see, people say, crypto is a hedge against inflation, but when I'm looking at it now, I'm thinking gold is actually the hedge against inflation. When we are having inflation jitters, and that's why the markets have really been struggling. But we can see that gold has been holding up pretty nicely, at least for the last week. We have tapped into an order block here. We may continue to push down. But I kind of feel like, I'm seeing us continuing to push up. This is probably a pullback, but let me see the weekly. I really want to see gold push back up before we push down. We have liquidity lying downside at 1780.801. I had marked this last week. I had actually thought that we would tap in, on the 16th of May, I thought we'd tap into it, but we didn't. Okay, we just slightly missed it on the weekly, pushed up, we've retested this level, we closed bearish, we took out liquidity. So we closed bearish. So, but I see like this candle kind of rejected, the downtrend. So I'm also thinking that, we still have imbalances and liquidity upside. So I really would love to see gold push up before we come and attack the liquidity down here. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping we open bullish. That's my hope. If we don't, obviously, that's okay also, because I mean, we are right smack in the middle of a range. So it could go either way, it could go up or down. So I'll be looking for bullish structure on market open. If I see that, then I'll be targeting the levels of 1927, okay? Or at least near term 1877 at the very least, which is about 398 pips away, yeah? But long term 1927 before we see price attacking liquidity below. But if we open bearish, if I see bearish structure on market open, then we'll definitely be zooming down. But for now, I think we're still in this range for a bit. I don't anticipate gold dropping anytime, especially because the markets are really doing their thing, and all the negative news about the economy and stuff. So let me look at one currency and then we're good to go. So I like to look at GBP USD. So GBP USD, in the spirit of keeping this analysis short and sweet. So we can see GU pulled back and was bullish for at least 2 days of last week. We kind of on Friday pulled back. But I'm going to assume that we pulled back because we hit an imbalance. We still have there's an order block here. I'm still anticipating, I wouldn't be surprised if we pushed up. Yeah. This is 2020. So we broke the 2020 low. We took out the 2020 low. We tapped into an imbalance here, and that's why, we pushed away. So I'm just hoping that, we can continue to be bullish, right? So let me look at GBP JPY. Yeah, GBP JPY. Okay, don't mind my markings, guys. This was a class I think I was teaching, and yeah, so we can see what happened. GJ on Thursday tapped into this liquidity level and imbalance zone, and there was an order block here on the daily, and we really rejected off of that level. And I think we took out liquidity, so that's why we kind of rejected, we closed We closed bullish, but with a bit of rejection to the upside. And I'm still feeling like there's room to push up because we have imbalances above. So I'm still kind of bullish on GJ. Let me look at one more popular pair that is usually traded. That's Euro USD. Euro USD is looking like GU, and it's just looking bullish for me. I want us to fill out the imbalances above before we tap into the imbalances below. So that's really my take on the daily. But things could go either way. Again, for me, I always like to look at market open, and I'll be sure to share my charts in the community tab or on Telegram. If you're in my Telegram, you'll be able to see them. But yeah, I'm bullish on Euro USD. But we've seen this run, we pulled back. I still feel there's room to continue to the upside, at least to 1.06453, which is about 159 pips away. So we are definitely in a demand zone. I mean, if I look at this range here, you can see we're below the 50% pips. So I'm just anticipating that this is a very nice buy zone. Okay, so even if it pulls back, I'll still be looking for bullish structure. Maybe on a lower time frame to take a quick scalp. So yeah, that's it, guys. If this was of value, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, guys, please by all means feel free to subscribe, share, and comment in the comment box so that I can know if I'm adding value or not. So that being said, thank you. I'm out and see you next week. Bye-bye.